Welcome back to another Explainer. Honestly, I am absolutely thrilled you're joining me today because we're looking back at a tournament that completely tossed the rulebook out the window. It defied logic, expectation, and prediction. Let's break down the top three most extraordinary moments of the 2022 FIFA World Cup.
So picture this. I want you to imagine a tournament filled with impossible stakes. What if I told you that the last World Cup gave us, without a doubt, one of the greatest upsets in all of football history? What if I told you it produced what a lot of fans consider the absolute greatest final ever played, and a journey that literally made an entire nation and continent cry tears of joy? We are talking pure, unadulterated unpredictability from start to finish.
All right, let's jump right into it. Coming in at number three, the ultimate upset, Saudi Arabia shocks the world.
36. Let that number just sit with you for a second. In this ultimate David versus Goliath story, 36 was Goliath. Argentina arrived in Qatar carrying an intimidating, honestly invincible-looking 36-match unbeaten streak. They weren't just showing up to play, they were the heavy, overwhelming favorites to win the whole thing. I mean, just imagine the sheer psychological weight of facing a team that literally hasn't lost a match in 36 attempts.
And when the match kicked off, it really felt like business as usual. Lionel Messi steps up, slots home an early penalty, and at that exact moment, every pundit, fan, and spectator expected an easy, routine victory. The expected script was playing out perfectly. Argentina was supposed to just cruise through this game without breaking a sweat.
But while the tournament favorites were sitting on that comfortable 1-0 lead, Saudi Arabia completely flipped the script. I mean, out of absolutely nowhere, they stunned the world by scoring not once, but twice, in a span of just 5 minutes. The entire momentum of the game shifted in the blink of an eye.
And they actually held on. Saudi Arabia secured a historic 2-1 win against the team that would eventually become champions. It firmly stands as one of the biggest upsets in World Cup history, proving to the world that absolutely anything can happen in football. No streak is safe, and for sure, no favorite is untouchable. Moving right along, that brings us to moment number two, the pioneer as Morocco makes African history. Look, coming into the tournament, nobody expected Morocco to go this far. They were pretty much written entirely out of the narrative. But match after match, performance after performance, they relentlessly shocked the global football community. They didn't just scrape by, they commanded attention by totally dismantling the expected hierarchy of the sport. And they didn't just face anyone either. They defeated absolute football giants. Belgium, Spain, Portugal. They weren't handed an easy path at all. They dismantled the absolute hardest competition Europe had to offer, knocking out one heavyweight at a time. By taking down those giants, Morocco achieved something completely unprecedented. They became the very first African nation ever to reach a World Cup semi-final. They shattered a historic glass ceiling that had been there for the entirety of the tournament's history. And really, this brilliantly illustrates the wider impact of sports. Even though they didn't win the whole thing in the end, Morocco inspired an entire continent. Millions of fans across Africa and the Arab world celebrated this incredible journey. They showed definitively that African football can compete with and defeat the absolute best in the world. It's a legacy that goes way, way beyond the pitch.
And now we reach the summit. Number one on our list, the Clash of Titans. Argentina versus France, in what a lot of people consider the greatest final ever played.
The utter chaos of this match was just breathtaking. Let's map it out. First, Argentina races into a 2-0 lead, looking absolutely certain to win. But then, France's Kylian Mbappe suddenly scores twice in just 97 seconds. 97 seconds. So we go to extra time. Messi scores. Mbappe scores again. Locked at 3-3, it forces the ultimate pressure cooker, a penalty shootout. After all that pure exhaustion, after those wild, wild swings of emotion, it all came down to kicks from the spot. And ultimately, Argentina managed to hold their nerve. They survived the shootout to lift the most coveted trophy in world sports. The emotional payoff after a grueling, chaotic battle like that was truly something to behold. But let's be real about what this victory meant, specifically in the context of football history. With this win, Lionel Messi finally claimed the one elusive prize that had been missing from his legendary career. After years of carrying the weight of massive expectations, the greatest player of his generation had basically completed football. You really cannot overstate the historic weight of this achievement. This final cemented itself as an absolute masterpiece because it truly had everything you could ever ask for: high drama, impossible comebacks, the biggest superstars on the planet going toe-to-toe, and of course, history being made right before our eyes. It was the perfect ending to a tournament defined by the extraordinary. So, having relived these moments, I want to turn it over to you. Looking back at these incredible peaks of athletic achievement and pure emotion, which of these moments actually impacted you the most? Was it the sheer shock of Saudi Arabia's upset? That inspiring, historic run by Morocco, breaking barriers for an entire continent? Or was it that completely unforgettable 3-3 clash in the final? But here is the real question I want to leave you with today. Did the 2022 World Cup prove that the gap between the traditional global heavyweights and the rest of the world has permanently closed? Or was this just a once-in-a-lifetime lightning strike in the desert? Let me know your thoughts. Until next time, keep learning and stay curious.